Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. And this is yours truly, Chrisnatha, certified life coach, author, and speaker. I am excited once again to be back with another segment of the Masterpiece Lounge, and I am your hostess. All right. So, as always, please say hello down in the chat. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. If you are returning, welcome back. It's always good to be back with my peeps. So, I'm excited to bring you another segment. And I hope that this enlightens you, empowers you, and encourages you. As you can see from the title, it's going to be really, really, really good. And I'm really hoping there's some nuggets that you can grab and start applying immediately. So, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. You're probably wondering why you haven't seen me on video, and it's because I've been away enjoying my vacation. But I'm still making sure I bring these segments to you. But soon and very soon, I will be back and fully back, and I'll be back on video. But until then, my voice will have to do. So, with that being said, welcome everyone in the chat, in the room. For those of you that are watching the replay, welcome. Facebook, YouTube, and everyone else, welcome. All right, so let's just jump into it. Today's topic is the importance of taking risks. The importance of taking risks. Now, I know there's two types of people. There's people who love taking risk, right? And you want to seize the day, carpe diem, right? And then there's another group of people who like to play it safe. Nobody is right, nobody is wrong. But what my segment today is about is just to discuss the positive side of taking risks, how it can be beneficial to you. Um, I don't think that you should take risk in every scenario. I think that you have to really evaluate and see if this makes sense for you. However, I do want to encourage everyone to be open, right? To be open to taking a chance on yourself. You never know. I know there's a huge chance it may not work, but there's also a huge chance that it just might work. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. All right. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it. Let's first define what a risk is. I don't want to assume that everybody knows, right? So, what is a risk? Well, first, it's a noun, right? Because I had to really get in my dictionary. It is a noun. It is a noun. And the definition of a risk is a situation involving exposure to a danger, right? So, there's exposure to this possibly going wrong. But I also can tell you that there is a possibility that things could go right. And so just encouraging you to be open. And if you're like me, most of the time you want to play it safe. Sometimes you have to step out there and just do something bold, right? And then you see what happens. Use wisdom, though. Use wisdom. So I was reading an interesting article, and according to a HuffPost article, the contributing author, Julie Zellinger, she writes an article discussing how risks can lead to success. And I thought this was an interesting read, and I wanted to really dive into it with you today and really talk about what the article speaks about. It's just, see what your thoughts are about it. It's always good to have different perspectives and for you to open up your mind. You don't have to change what you're doing, but the goal is for you to have a different perspective. All right. So that is what our segment is all about. And that is why I thought this article would be fitting. I read a quote earlier today and I wanted to share it with you. It's by Mark Zuckerberg, and it says the biggest risk is not having any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. All right. So, of course, this quote is talking about taking risks, specifically in a changing world. And things are changing around us all the time. And so, it doesn't mean we have to change our beliefs, but it may mean that we have to be a little bit open to how we do certain things, right? And then you can decide what that looks like for you. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to dive into the article a little bit more. And the name of the article is Seven Reasons Why Risk Taking Leads to Success. Seven Reasons Why Risk Taking Leads to Success. Let's talk about it. Number one is opportunities often come from risk taking. Opportunities often come from risk taking. Risk taking. For example, if you are someone in business, you may be able to testify. You may be able to really pull from your personal experience and say, I've taken risks and they have turned out well. Doesn't mean I did not make any mistakes along the way. I've had to learn a lot, but ultimately, even starting my business, right? That was a risk that I took because it could go well, could go not, but I knew it could not go well, rather. But I knew that my hard work, that my dedication, that my consistency was going to make a difference. And so it's important to keep in mind that taking risk can lead to opportunities. We tend to view risk taking negatively, often regarding it as something very dangerous and sometimes even unwise. But while some risks certainly do not pay off, it's important to remember that some actually do. So, reframing risk as an opportunity to succeed rather than a path to failure is something that is extremely important. I'm going to read that last line again because I think that's super key. Reframing risk as an opportunity to succeed rather than a path to failure is something that we ought to be open to doing. Times are changing. Some methods in the some methods in which how we handle certain things in our lives may need to adjust a bit, right? And that is okay. Nothing is wrong with that. So reframing the way that we see risk is important as well. But I also want to encourage you with everything that you're doing, use wisdom. Okay, not to be impulsive, but to really use wisdom. But and also there are some things you're just going to take a chance, and whatever the outcome is, right? So that's number one. Number two is taking risks shows confidence and helps you stand out. Taking risks shows confidence and helps you stand out. Taking a risk is also a great opportunity to stand out and to be present, especially as a leader and not just a follower. So if you're not satisfied with the status quo, stand out, do something different. Go against the grain. Don't try to fit in, right? And it shows that you are confident even if you are standing alone. Even if you are standing alone, it's okay to not do what everyone's doing. It actually is pretty amazing. Number three is we learn from risks, and those lessons may lead us on an important new path. We learn from risk. So you can actually learn from the risk that you take. And whatever lesson that you learn, it can lead you on a whole different path. You're in a whole different space in your life. Let's touch a little bit on the last 2.5 years, right? There has been so much change. And I'm sure all of you can say there has been change in your life. Some you consider positive, some you consider negative. But one thing for certain and two things for sure, there has been a lot of change in all of our lives. There's been change in family dynamics. Some of us have relocated to different cities and states. Some of us are in a whole new career path, right? Some of us have really dipped our toe into a new industry, right? Some of us have now become business owners. So many things have changed in the last 2.5 years. And so, with that, we had to take a risk. We had to say, I'm about to do something that's different. I'm about to go from one industry to the next, and I know nothing about where I'm going, and I know everything about where I was, right? But I'm going to step into this new space, and not only am I going to step in, I'm going to be present. I'm going to do a great job. I'm going to kill it, right? I'm going to own my space. I'm going to show up big, right? You took a risk and things worked out. Doesn't mean they were easy, but they worked out. So I want you to be mindful of that as well. You can learn from the risks that you take. Number four, success won't fall in your lap. You have to pursue it. All right, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Number four, success won't fall in your lap. You have to pursue it. Beyond being personally or professionally beneficial, taking risks may be a necessary step in actively pursuing success. All right, I'm going to say that one more time. That was so good. Beyond being personally or professionally beneficial, taking risks may be a necessary step in actively pursuing success. If you want to pursue and reach and even beyond your desired idea of what success is for you, more than likely, taking risks are part of the plan. It's part of the strategy. You may have to do something that you've never seen, that has never been done in your family, that your friends haven't done before, and you just might be the first. But you have to pursue success. It's not enough to write about it. It's not enough to wish it. It's not enough to pray about it. Now you have to activate your faith, that fire in you, and take steps toward that desired goal, that dream each and every day. You really have to put one foot in front of the other and start your journey. One thing we've learned is that time waits for no one, right? And so your time to do that is starting now. If you were waiting for a sign, this is it. This is the sign. So go ahead and start, right? So really be mindful that you have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to be comfortable that you don't know exactly how you're going to get to the results that you want to see. There's going to be experimentation along the way. And you have to be comfortable that you can think your way through and actually execute your way through to the desired outcome. You have what it takes. You have what it takes. You can start where you are with what you have today. Number five is you don't achieve your dreams by playing it safe. There's going to be some moments you're just going to be absolutely terrified. If I can be so honest with you, you're just going to be terrified. And my encouragement to you today is to do it afraid. Do it with knots in your stomach. Do it while your palms are sweaty. Do it while you are so nervous. Do it when you don't think you can. And you'll realize that I did it. And it didn't take me out. I'm still here. And it only gives you confidence to do it again and do it even bigger. Risk taking won't potentially benefit the career path you're already on. If this is like for your career, your business, it may actually open you up to a world of possibilities you have yet to consider. Sometimes we feel like we have our lives mapped out, it's going to go one way, and then opportunity comes, change comes, things just happen, right? And we adjust, we take detours, we take a different route. But if you want to pursue your dreams, really, really pursue them and give them all that you can, you won't be able to play it safe, not forever. Number six is embracing risk taking helps you overcome a fear of failure. I absolutely agree with this, and I can attest to this personally. I've always, as a young girl, been very shy, but I always loved to write. And from the time I was about 12, I was writing creatively. And when I was 15, I began telling my parents, I'm going to write a book one day. And they knew how shy I was. And they always thought, okay, you're just dreaming really, you're dreaming, but maybe this won't come to pass. And I said this like every year, every other year, I'm going to write a book one day. And I said this to them for 10 years. And when I turned 25, I came to them and said, that book that I've been telling you about since I was 15, I finally wrote it, and I would love for you to read a copy. They were shocked, surprised, and proud. I was afraid that I couldn't do it. I was afraid that I would fail. I was afraid that I would only sell 2 copies, one to mom and one to dad, right? But that book helped me overcome so much fear, and it helped me gain confidence to do so much more, to become a public speaker, to speak at universities and conferences and seminars and workshops, to host retreats, right? Just the possibilities were endless and are endless because I took a risk. I took a chance on myself and I overcame that fear. And you can do the very same thing, if not more. Number 7, finally, is taking a risk doesn't mean you have to do so um, haphazardly. While risk taking can clearly be personally and professionally beneficial, it doesn't occur in a vacuum either. So people don't benefit from risk without preparing to take them and educating themselves on the possible fallout. Understand this: we're talking about risk in a very positive way, but it is very important that you are aware and very, very, very clear that when you take a risk, there are consequences, and that you count the cost. Count the cost. It may work out, but it also may not. And you have to be willing to take that risk and understand that however this goes, whatever the result is, I'm okay with it. All right. So count the cost, prepare for the risk that you're looking to take, and educate yourself on the possible fallout, on the possible um, challenges that could happen, right? Prepare yourself. So that is in a nutshell the article that I absolutely enjoyed, and I wanted to share it with you because I thought it would be super beneficial and encouraging to you. So that's what we're talking about today, everyone, the importance of taking risk. I hope that as we enter this second half of this year, that we can learn from the first half, and that you can take a risk or even more than one risk the second half and just see where it takes you. You never know. So I am excited and I can't wait to hear all the amazing testimonies that's going to come from you taking risks, taking a chance, counting on yourself. Counting on yourself. You can do this. You can so do this. And even if it's not a perfect journey without bumps, right? Because perfect doesn't exist, but progression is what we are looking to achieve. So I'm excited, guys, and this spoke to my heart, and I know that it's speaking to yours as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Please make sure that we get connected on all of the socials, and those are my handles and how you can find me below there on the screen, and also, if you don't already, connect with me on my online home. Here is this site right there, iaaminstitute.com. Join our free mailing list and grab the free ebook. All right, it is there as a gift to you. Thank you guys so much for coming, and be sure to share this with your network. You can reach me here, same time, same place, every week. And also, I want you to make sure that you take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and I want to hear about these risks that you're about to take. So share them down in the comments, share them with me, connect with me, and let me know how you're doing, because I want to know and I want to be your cheerleader. All right, guys, I am certified life coach, author, and speaker, Chrisnatha DeRozier. I'm signing off until next time, and until then, be well.